Okay, we are back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with the always lovely and talented Andrea Kay, the always incredible Urban Miaris. And we have our next segment today, which we call Women in Business.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of lovely and talented ladies.
Yes, always lovely and talented. I'm not allowed to use that for anybody else.
You copyrighted it.
I copyrighted it, but that means I can use it for anybody I want. It doesn't have to tie to you.
All right, well.
Okay, I'm just saying. Welcome, Alexandra German from Coldwell Banker, who is our host for Women in Business.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm here with my guest, Allison Morgan. She is the owner of Bloggers in Business, and she actually has a lot of tools for women to get things done. And the most important tool that she's going to talk about today is how to start your day. And since I was late today, because I slept in, I think, if you can help one person, you can help a lot of people. So welcome, Alison.
Thank you.
Welcome. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Bloggers in Business is helping women who started blogs way back in the day, or maybe just last month, for the fun of it, and they all of a sudden have a huge following, and they're trying to get advertising with affiliates or other website advertising, and it's not necessarily working. And what women or bloggers in general need to know is that they have a product that their followers are looking at them for. And what is that product? So we help them figure out whatever product or service they have to offer and how to actually make real money on their blogs.
Okay. So you do a lot of coaching. Would that be
coaching?
Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Business coaching for women.
Now, for a long time, I'm more technologically advanced than Boss Daddy Barry, but not by far. For a long time, I didn't even know what a blog was. It's a web log, correct? And it can really be of any type of topic. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Any topic, people start them really based on their own passions. And that's what's so great about creating a service or something, because it's what they love already. They're not like having to come up with it out of the blue. They've already started it.
So do you have any real life stories? Because I keep hearing someone started a blog about da-da-da, and then all of a sudden they have 1 million followers.
Yeah, like the Pioneer Woman, who now has a cooking show on the Food Network. I guess she started, just some home cook, starts her blog, and next thing you know, now she's like a major TV star. How do I make that happen for me?
Yes, that is going to be tricky. That is the definite 1%. But what people who write blogs are striving for is to be that, where she has a book and she has tons of companies who want her to use their KitchenAid mixer or whatever product they have, and she's a sponsor for them. That's really tricky to do. But there's so much room for people to offer their services or a product like a cookbook or even just a online guide.
Or like fashion
advice, cleaning, organizing.
We were just talking about it.
We were talking about organizing.
Yeah, that would be one that I would be really interested in. And I hear about, I'll be looking through a magazine, a woman's magazine, and I'll see they'll mention a blog, and I'll think, well, how do you even find, here's a very successful blog. And I'm thinking, well, how did it become successful? How do people even know where to go to find these blogs?
Well, there's tons of different ways. I mean, you will see tons of links on Facebook that go to videos that somehow attract you, and maybe it's a friend's post, or you can go to Pinterest and you're perusing recipes and you find one that's great and you try it and it's perfect. So then you start following that person's blog because you all of a sudden trust what they do.
Okay.
And maybe it's a photography skill or a Photoshop skill or any type of skill that you're trying to look for. Pinterest is the new Google for me.
Really? See, I haven't been on Pinterest. What is Pinterest?
Pinterest is a place to actually, how in the old internet days, you would bookmark all your favorite things. So this is a way to visually bookmark everything you find on the internet. And most people now just go to Pinterest and look at their feed, just like you would like Facebook, and you follow lots of people. So anything that they pin or save or bookmark, is there, and you just kind of browse it and find things you like, and you put them in categories. So you could have a category for quotes even, and then you could go to your quote thing and find a quote that inspires you for the day.
Okay, so let's say Alex wants to start a blog about real estate, and she gets it going and she gets some followers. How do you help her?
Well, the first thing is to promote yourself. So you would create your Facebook page, your Pinterest page, a YouTube channel, and something that somebody in real estate might be able to be useful for other people, not necessarily future clients looking for homes, but maybe it's other real estate realtors who need help on how to put your best foot forward with a client, and you have a how-to guide. Or maybe it is your clients, and you create something that is, what are the 5 key things you need to look for when buying a home? Or what are the 5 pitfalls that people fall into?
So the key is to provide the value.
Yes, you'll provide some type of value that's not just writing, like today I showed 5 houses. That used to work, and now it doesn't.
Although Alice is so gorgeous, if she put her picture on there, people would dig that.
Oh, some realtors, they put really old pictures on. This is my picture 20 years ago.
Right.
I find the biggest weakness of people starting out in business, they don't stay in it long enough. They quit too soon. And sometimes, like with blogs and all, it may take a little bit more time than you expect. But once you start getting connected, it speeds up. The time really becomes in your favor.
Yeah. You really have to decide if you're going to do a blog for fun or if it's going to be a business. And if you decide it's going to be a business, you want to figure out what value you're going to offer. If it's for fun, then post about your dog walk that morning,
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD. Email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com or find our page on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-host, Andrea Kay, Urban Miaris, and we have the beautiful Alexandra German and the, I don't want to call you the queen of bloggers, but we have put a moniker on everybody, so wonderful. So blogging is... I'm stopping to think a little bit about how we can use blogging to help other types of businesses. What if I go back to Urban here, and he's involved in nonprofits? Can we find a way to use blogging to really benefit his nonprofit?
Absolutely, because a blog is basically a newsletter, is a good way to think about it. So if you have your website and it has your basic about us and contact us and what we're about page, you would have a blog, which basically has your new and upcoming information, and it's your newsletter. It's just a way to give information to people, to give value, to be insightful, inspirational, whatever you want to put out there. And because we're in such a society of new, and what's the newest thing today, it's the perfect tool for any business to have something that is brand new each day or once a week or once a month that brings people back and interested in what you have.
How would you coach somebody that is very good at what they do but doesn't really know doesn't have that skill for writing and what it takes for blogging? How do you do that? How would you help them?
Well, there are so many companies out there that have people who can do that. So I actually am a terrible writer. It's not my forte, and I will have a copywriter go through and help me copyright and make it a little more flourished than I'm capable of.
I didn't know there were people out there to help you write the blog.
You can have ghostwriters. You can have, there are so many people who are available for content writing. In fact, most big companies hire content writers there, or any company. I know lots of small companies that also do that.
So where do you find those people?
You could just look up content blog writer on Google, and you would come up with plenty of things. There's a website called Fiverr, which is FIVR.com, I believe, and you can hire anybody to do anything. You need a graphic, you need Facebook fans, whatever.
I've got to connect you up with Jeff Peterson over at Mobile Corporation, mobile.co, because they are the up-and-coming freelance website, which can help you and find all the freelance writers out there, too.
Right.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So somebody's got a blog. Alex has been doing a blog, and she's become successful at it. And how does she make money from it in terms of advertising?
Well, advertising is tricky because advertising works really different. Facebook is going through a whole transition now where they got really heavy into advertising, and then people have been complaining. So it's hard to be an advertiser on Facebook because Facebook will cut your ad out if it looks too much like an advertisement. So the trick is, again, going back to creating value that people will share. And that's the key to advertising right now. And sometimes you pay for it. Pinterest, you can pay for it. Facebook, you can pay for it. But you can also just be really good at your own social media, which once you know how to do that, you're kind of keyed in.
So it's pretty much the old style of word of mouth.
It is. It's exactly that. It's kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
In a really fast way.
So then how does somebody make money off of their blog?
Well, they would create a product. So let's say we're talking about Alex's real estate business, and she would have a PDF booklet that is for clients on how to buy a home. And there's tons of free things on there, on the internet about that, but she would figure out a way to make it really valuable and solid. Maybe it has some worksheets or some things that they can really get their teeth into, that they're really finding the home of their dreams in a thoughtful way.
You know how I see it? It's not going to be, I'm not going to make money from the blog. I'm going to make money from people who will become my clients because of my blog. Because when they read the blog, they're going to like me and trust me with all the information I provide. And then that's how I find the clients.
Yeah. Well, here's the biggest challenge I see with blogging, and I want your advice on how we deal with this. We as professionals are so busy doing what we do. How do we find the time to add another layer of work, even though it promotes our own business? How do we find the time to do that? What's involved?
What's involved is really setting apart some time. It's just like if you were going to all of a sudden say, I need to exercise. What am I going to do? What can you do? I can do 10 minutes a day. That's actually all I can do. It's 10 minutes. So 10 minutes of yoga, that's all it. So if you have 10 minutes, then you're going to decide, I'm just going to write something that's important. And if it takes me 5 days to write one thing at 10-minute blocks, then that's all I have. And I'll post it once a week. Or maybe you can only post once a month. And you just put it in your schedule that it's a priority. And you make it doable. So you don't say, well, I've got a great idea and I'm going to do it every day. And everybody's going to come to my blog and love it. You probably can't do that because you're dealing with the rest of your business. Whereas a blogger who is fully concentrating on blogging has a total plan where their entire day is with photography and video and social media, and they've got so many different aspects that is their full-time job. So as a business owner, adding a blog, you would just want to pick out something that's time available for you. So once a month, better than none.
Yeah. No, interesting, and I think that with today's technology, I know this is not necessarily new technology, but you get on your phone, you use the voice to text, and you make your notes as you go. I mean, you can do that. I don't want to say you do it while you're driving because I don't want to get stopped while I'm texting while I'm driving, but you can do it virtually anywhere. So I think that's great.
You say you have to make it interesting. It reminds me of Saul Bellows when he was alive. I went to a seminar he did on writing. And the subject was to write about an ant, A-N-T, ant. And one of the people in the audience said up that is such a boring subject. He said, no such thing as a boring subject, just boring writers.
That is true.
And I think if you write about something that you really enjoy and love, then it's never boring and you always have time for it because you love doing that. It doesn't feel like work.
Right. Well, and it's about being motivated. And I know you've got some notes there that you want to share about being motivated and how to start motivated. In the 2 minutes we have left, or about the minute and a half, what do you want to share about motivation?
Well, I think for anybody in business, whatever it is, and especially since I deal with women, it's starting your day off in a way that you can be successful. So I will often just get up, since I work from home, sit down and just start. And all of a sudden my email is open and Facebook is weirdly open. It shouldn't be. And I am not dressed. I'm in my pajamas and my day continues on that path. So the most important thing is to be really conscious of how you start your day and also putting a positive spin on it. I can easily go into, I have all this to do and I can't get it done, which is a negative. And maybe one thing I have is a to-do list that motivates me. So one of the top things is, what could go right today? And it just immediately starts you off with, what could go right today?
That's a great idea. I love that.
Time. You know, like
Alex.
simple. And then at the end of the day is also important of really looking over, like, where did I fall short? What did I do great? And so another thing that I have on my to-do list is a daily brag. And that's hard for women to do. And maybe men, I don't know, but speaking from a woman, it's hard to come up with, like, what did I do really great today? And it's even better when you share that with people. And that just kind of ends your day on a positive note. So
I love that.
That's
Yeah,
great.
we're going to have this for download.
Oh, you will? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Yeah. But how can people get this information?
Yep. Tell us how we find more about you.
Well, my website is bloggersandbusiness.com, and on the blog there is a blog post that's all about starting your day off on a positive note. And there will be a download in that article for a to-do list, a master to-do list. Another aspect is adding life-enhancing activities. So
I love that. Life-enhancing activities, because it's not just about, work and, stuff.
Right. Well, we are running short on time, so I'm going to remind our listeners, go to bloggersandbusiness.com, find out more about our wonderful guest today, Allison Morgan, and I want to thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Great. This is Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170, theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at CloseUpSD or just find us on Facebook. You can always email me at Barry@closeupsandiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Taking care of